and really originally was one man's vision, which is Ervin Laszlo, to put out this call to awaken to humanity's sacred mission. Ervin Laszlo is a philosopher and systems scientist, the author, co-author, or editor of 106 different books that have appeared in a total of 25 languages. He's written over 400 articles and research papers, subject of a 1-hour PBS special, Life of a Modern Day Genius. Laszlo is the founder and president of the international think tank, the Club of Budapest, and of the prestigious the Laszlo Institute of New Paradigm Research. He's a recipient of various honors and awards, including honorary PhDs from the United States, Canada, Finland, and Hungary. Ervin Laszlo received the Goi Award, the Japan Peace Prize in 2001. And we actually have Yuka Sayonji, who's speaking as part of today's panel as well. So beautiful resonance there. Also, the Assisi Mandir of Peace Prize in 2006, and was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2004 and 2005. It's a great honor, Ervin Laszlo, to have you here at this symposium, your symposium, our symposium, everybody's gathered together, all these different groups, and it was your initial invitation to this incredible idea of awakening to humanity's sacred mission. So Ervin, over to you.
Well, Ben, Jude, David, and friends, everything that needs to be said and then for an opening has been said. It's a wonderful way to organize a 3-day symposium. I'm deeply grateful for that. I admit to the sin of having proposed this topic. Awakening to our humanity's sacred mission, which is our sacred mission. It's up to me to complete this panorama of what is the task in front of us by just adding 2 concepts, because everything else has already been said very brilliantly, and I do not need to repeat it. The 2 things are love and consciousness. As we move through the evolutionary cycle, the evolutionary process from the big breath of the Big Bang to a coherent, increasingly coherent, but very non-linearly evolving universe, we need to remember that this is not a process that is outside us. This is a process that is us, that has created us, and its creation, its belonging, is something that is essential, but we have forgotten it. Largely human beings, modern day humanity, is developing, acting as if we would be outside of this big cycle of process of development, of evolution. I like to use a metaphor, dancing, because we are moving, we are breathing, as we just heard, as we are acting together, responding, provoking, challenging, satisfying, giving birth together. This is a dance, and this dance is with our home planet, with this part of the universe, which is our part, which is our universe. So I invite you to think about this. If you are going to dance with the world around you, as you must, because you are not outside of it, then let's dance with the universe. We access the universe through nature on this planet, through the biosphere, through living things. And because the planet is part of the larger unit, which is the solar system, which is a part of the system of solar systems and the galaxy is part of the meta-galaxy. It's all one quantum universe, and we are in it. We have forgotten it. Let's dance with the planet, not just on the planet, not beyond it, but with it. That means that everything we do has to be conscious of the fact that we are a conscious element of a great process, the greatest process we could ever conceive, the evolution of the universe. We are a mini evolution of that giant evolution, part of that holographic process in which every part mirrors and includes all the other parts. Here we are. It's time to take stock. The world as we have known it has changed. We are entering a new era. It's an era that moves from extensive growth to intensive development, from conquest, from trying to own things, back to who we are, back to being a part, not a small part, a decisive part. Because how we feel this is the sense of meaning of love, unconditional love. We are belonging together. And what holds us together is this feeling of love. What is it that's developing? What is it that's growing? In one word, I would say consciousness. Consciousness is emerging in the universe. It's emerging on this planet. And there are myriads and myriads of planets, probably more planets in existence than there are stars in the solar system, in our galaxy. So let's take stock. We are at a historic turning point. What we perceive is how we act. And how we act will define and determine what happens to us and to the higher spheres of life in and on this planet. We are at a point that we need to remember that we are growing, we are becoming something else, something more than what we have really been and should have been. We have had an episode where we moved outside of this giant stream of evolution, thinking that we could conquer it. We could dance outside, we could do everything artificial that needs to be done, satisfy our short-term needs and never mind the long-term developments, the long-term requirements. So it's time to change so that the world around us can change, to become really a part of the giant dance of the universe, a dance of coherence, of increasing coherence. Our purpose, our mission on this earth is to advance consciousness, to make it more coherent, more inclusive, and to bring to this blue-green planet the sense that it is not here by accident, that it's doing something. It's a transceiver of the consciousness that exists in the universe, and that we can perceive, we can elaborate, and transmit, so that this blue-green planet becomes a hub of living, loving consciousness. Poetic, yes, but that's good, as David already has shown. But besides that, it's also science, as Jude has shown. It is the new poetic science, the new spiritual science, or scientific spirituality, become part of the evolution that goes on in the universe and become a local hub that contributes coherence and oneness, so that joined with other hubs in myriad places in this galaxy and elsewhere in the universe, together we can join and create the universe as a giant development, a giant breath, if you like, to evolve into oneness, into coherence, into dimensions that only the deepest spiritual prophets and spiritual masters could ever conceive. We are part of that. So let's think about it, but let's do something about it. And let's find out how we can evolve to coherence, oneness, with love in this part of the universe. That's the task of the symposium. How you do it, we have 3 days to work on. Thank you for joining these 3 days. This is a unique chance to remember who we are, what the world is, and to change it to what it meant to be. Develop away from this episode of trying to conquer, trying to master everything. Come back into the embrace of evolution in the universe. Thank you for taking this on. And remember, this is the beginning. We want to continue. Our sacred mission is to dance with the universe, through the planet, with each other. Thank you for joining us. And I wish we all ourselves and each other a fruitful, a pleasant, and enjoyable, and a meaningful 3 days ahead of us. Thank you to the organizers again. Thank you, Ben, and all. You have done a marvelous job. We are ready to go. Thanks for joining us.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Ervin Laszlo, for that eloquent and beautiful message. Thank goodness this is going to be available to watch on demand, because I think we need to go back and listen to that again and again, that flourishing of consciousness that you're speaking us into. Thank you, Ervin. And Ervin recently sat down and did a longer 30-minute brilliant interview, and we're going to be sharing that link out through all the different places and spaces, because it's really a part of this call to humanity's sacred mission. What you've just done so eloquently in 10 minutes, Ervin does beautifully as he unpacks it a little deeper in this great interview that goes for 30 minutes. So we'll make sure those links are shared around. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ervin. What a beautiful beginning we're off